Hello, everybody. First of all, I don't know why all Nigerians seems to be so dumb right now at this point. So the news says that the president Tinubu went to Jos. Basically, he stopped at the airport. He didn't even went to the city of Jos, the town. He stopped at the airport, and those people that were attacked in their communities were invited at the airport, to meet him at the airport. So President Tinubu fly from Abuja to the, to Jos, and could not even go to the town. Not to talk about going to the community where those killings are happening. So they had to bring those people to the airport for him to meet them at the airport. He couldn't go to the town. This is a man who called himself the president of Nigeria. And you can see what we are talking about every day, that this man does not even have the interests of Nigerians at heart. And the only reason why this man went to the airport in Jos is because a lot of Nigerians are complaining about these killings. And that is the only way he went there. If not because the social media has, a lot of people are talking about it. Once you open your phone, it is killing and just you'll be hearing from people's mouth. That is the only way he went there. If not, he couldn't have gone to the States. And the worst of it all is that he did not even go to the town. He didn't even go to the city of Jos. He just stopped at the airport, and they organized those people that were attacked to come there, the survivors, to come there to come and meet him at the airport. And he was even busy telling them that he was going to be there for just 10 minutes. Then he has to fly back. And he was even telling them that they don't have electricity. Can you imagine? And sometimes I wonder, does this man really know that he's the president of Nigeria? Do you think this man knows that he's the president of Nigeria? This is the same man that was telling Nigerians in all necessary means they must have constant electricity in his first term. He's now telling Nigerians that you do not have light. So he's going to fly back in 10 minutes. So this man automatically doesn't know that he's the president of Nigeria. And look at how he has been reading the speech. He cannot even read the speech properly. And he wants to come back again in 2027. You see, Nigerians, some of us who are talking about revolution, it's not because we don't want peace. It's not because we don't want to vote, but because it's obvious that our PVC is useless. It's obvious that even when Nigerians vote, they must find one way or the other to manipulate the system to rig themselves back into the office. You see, yesterday I watched the video of Very Dark Man when he made a video when somebody, call him out and say, bro, you have the influence, to lead for this revolution. And his response made me have another way of thinking, because if you go on Twitter every day, it is always a tribal war, religious war, and ethnic war. And that is exactly what these people understand, and that is why Nigeria has been in this situation, because these politicians know that Nigerians are not ready. We are busy complaining about the Igbos, about the Hausas, about the Yorubas. We are not together, and that is one of the biggest problems that we have. You see, I really, really feel like people will just think the way I think. People understand things the way I understand things. I wish people have that kind of mindset as well that I have today. If we continue like this, Nigeria is going nowhere. The only way to save Nigeria is for us all to unite together and lead ourselves for this revolution. Or this country should be divided. Let the Hausas live their own state, have their own state. Let the Igbos have their own state, and let the Yorubas have their own state. That is the second option for Nigeria to move forward. If you are talking about this PVC and all that, it is not going to help. And secondly, if you really want this revolution to work out, every Nigerian must unite. Because this thing is happening everywhere. There is no state now in Nigeria that things are cheap than others. The only state that feel like, they have government right now in Nigeria is only Abia State. Except Abia State, there is no any other state in Nigeria where you feel like you feel the presence of your government. And I feel like a lot of Nigerians don't even know the value of government. Why some of them knew, but because they are benefiting from this corruption, they want the country to remain the same. And that is why every Nigerian must stand up and fight for this. You must try to unite. This is not the time for ethnic bigot, religious war. That's you people have been fighting for all over Twitter. And that is exactly the point Very Dark Man made yesterday. Which people exactly are you leading for this revolution? Is it these people that every day on Twitter they are busy, fighting religious war, tribalism and all that? These are the same people you want to lead for revolution. So I feel like Nigerians are not ready yet. We have not suffered enough for every Nigerian to take out their religion, their ethnic bigot and all that, for us to unite and come together and fight these people. And I feel like Very Dark Man is making a lot of sense on his video when he made yesterday, because after watching that video, I listened to the whole video and it made a lot of sense. Because Nigeria is full of ethnic bigot, religious war and tribal war. That is what is going on social media, especially Twitter, every day. You see people making unnecessary comments just to, to instigate people, against each other. And if we continue like this, things will get so bad to the extent that you may not even be alive to tell the story. So every Nigeria must wake up now. Either we push for togetherness and fight for revolution, or let us divide the country. Let the Igbos have their own state. Let the Hausas have their own state, and let the Yorubas have their own state. That does not mean that we are now enemies. We can do businesses, but this thing will actually bring a competition among us. Each and every state wants their own state, to grow faster, to develop faster. So these are some of the issues that every Nigerian must, bring their attention to for us to get good results. And that is my message to every Nigerian this morning. We must preach togetherness and stop all these things, because with all these things that we are doing, revolution or election is not going to work. Because honestly, if you look at the mindset of those people you are calling for revolution for, you will see that Nigeria does not have that kind of mindset. The youth we have today does not have the kind of mindset to be a leader. So many of them don't know what it takes to be a leader. So that is one of the biggest challenge we are having right now in Nigeria, because Nigerian youth does not have the mindset to be a leader. They don't know what leader means. They don't know what good governance means. They don't know what it feels like, what it takes, what it feels to have a government that works, that people feel the impact of their government. Everybody just wants to steal from the system. That is all they want. So far they are benefiting from the system, they are good to go. And that is what we must change today if we really want this country to be better. But some of us are not going to use, because of some of these people are dumb. Then we want to live the same way. We want the country to remain the same. No, that is hell no. So every Nigerian must have it in mind today that we want a better country. And it requires the effort, everybody, for us to bring this change we want. And this is my message. Please guys, share this video.